Vietnam is on the brink of something big. A golden visa or a long-term residence program could be a game changer. Vietnam is definitely late to the party, overshadowed the need for a retiree or investor-friendly visa system, the ability to buy property. 95% of tourists will never return again, which leads us to this moment with a monthly income of $1,000 or more, a potential shot at citizenship within 7 years. How can I stay in Vietnam now? Keep your options open and don't hold your breath, because this is Vietnam. 200,000 foreigners live in Vietnam right now. Sounds like a lot, right? Until you notice that Thailand has over 1 million foreigners living there. Imagine a cozy restaurant serving incredible pho, but the doorman keeps on losing the keys. Customers want in, but the wait to get a seat is agonizing. Well, all that might be about to change. Vietnam's Prime Minister has had enough, and he's come up with a brand new proposal that could flip the script, potentially allowing foreigners to purchase their way into a brand new shiny residence card. It's a type of program that screams golden visa vibes, a program that could catapult Vietnam into the big leagues of expat-friendly destinations. People want to be here, but for the longest time, long-term stays were a uphill battle, at least from a straightforward legal sense. Today, I am here to break down this exciting news. Is Vietnam ready for a golden visa? The type of visas that retirees, investors, and remote workers have been asking for since ancient Rome. Why not? But how does this look? This could be very interesting, so let's get started. My name is Ken Duong, international business immigration attorney with over 16 years of experience helping companies and individuals relocate all over the world, especially Vietnam. And I get asked this all the time. Why doesn't Vietnam have a proper long-term visa option? And for years, Vietnam was a land of short-term tourist visas and strict residency rules. Well, things are starting to look up. On March 3rd, Vietnam's Prime Minister came out with a directive 06/CT-TTG, instructing the ministries to find ways for foreigners to buy permanent residence cards. So why does Vietnam want foreigners to live here long term? There are 4 main reasons. Number 1, economic stimulation and foreign investment, attracting more FDI into new factories, startups, and real estate projects. All that monies will trigger a domino effect, which means more jobs, better infrastructure, and a stronger foothold in the global economy. Number 2, for tourism and service sector growth. There's no denying Vietnam's natural beauty and vibrant street life, but yet 95% of tourists will never return again. This is a jaw-dropping number compared to Thailand's 50%. Imagine if only just a fraction of those tourists had an option of a longer stay, or better yet, to settle down. The service sector, from coffee shops to luxury resorts, would have a serious windfall. The real tragedy is seeing local hotels and restaurants see waves of first-timers come and go, but never return, while next-door neighbors like Thailand reel in repeat customers. With a better visa policy, that just might flip the dismal retention rate on its head. Number 3, regional competition. Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, and Cambodia. Practically all our neighbors have an investor-friendly or retiree-friendly visa. Vietnam is definitely late to the party. Vietnam runs the risk of being left behind if they cannot match or top those offerings. Number 4, ensuring macro stability. In an era where tariff wars can cripple an export-driven economy overnight, diversification is the safety net. Opening real estate, bonds, and corporate shares to foreign investors will lead to new, fresh capital into new sectors. That extra financial cushion can help the Vietnamese dong stay afloat when a global trade storm rolls in. In plain English, more foreign money into different sectors creates a safety net when external markets decide to throw curveballs. If Vietnam wants to keep up with the Thailands and Malaysias of the world, it needs to make it easier for foreigners to put down roots here. So let's not sugarcoat it. Vietnam has a history of being very cautious allowing foreigners to stay around too long. Some of it has to do with national security concerns. Understandable, considering its history of colonialism and war. The legal frameworks for immigration and residency involves a lot of agencies. The Ministry of Public Security, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Labor, and the Ministry of Tourism. Imagine the logistical juggling act. Plus, for years, massive manufacturing growth overshadowed the need for a retiree or investor-friendly visa system. Why roll out a fancy golden visa if big companies like Samsung's are already knocking at your door? Now that other countries in the region are raking in the retirees and investors, Vietnam is feeling the heat to step up. Which leads us to this moment where the Prime Minister is telling the ministries, let's seriously consider letting foreigners purchase residence cards. A few years back, around 2019, there were rumors of a Vietnam retirement visa, minimum age 55 with a monthly income of $1,000 or more. Then someone leaked that the minimum amount would increase to $4,000 per month. Expats got excited, real estate developers were salivating. And then the new administration came in and the proposal vanished. No official rollout, no clear timeline. Now, before we talk about how Vietnam is going to structure this golden visa, let's pause for a minute for a reality check. Did you know that 80% of you are watching more often than a neighborhood dog eyeing a barbecue grill? Yet, you still haven't subscribed. Don't look like that friend that comes to a party, empties a snack bowl, and then disappears. Hit that subscribe button. Trust me, because you want to be there when we finally say, buy one residence card, get one free sale. Though I might be joking about the second part. Or am I? Before we get into how the Vietnam Golden Visa is structured, let's look at the competition and how they do it, and also to position themselves to be attractive. Southeast Asia is basically a buffet of long-term visa options. Let's start with Thailand, arguably the closest competitor. It has two headline programs. The Thailand Elite Visa, which offers up to 20 years of residency with a membership fee of $18,000 up to 6 figures. The second is a retirement visa aimed at applicants over 50 years old. It requires you to have 800,000 baht in a Thai bank account or a monthly pension of 65,000 baht, renewable annually. The next competitor on the list is Malaysia, with its famous Malaysia My Second Home program. It's a 5-year renewable setup that offers tax exemptions on foreign source income and the ability to buy property. Over in the Philippines, the special resident retirees visa is indefinite as long as the applicant maintains a time deposit from $10,000 to $50,000, depending on their age and pension status. Cambodia's approach is arguably the simplest. Pick up an ordinary EB visa and renewing it indefinitely, and say you are investing or running a business. Enforcement can be a bit loose. For those with deeper pockets, a $250,000 investment into property or a business will allow you a 5 to 10-year visa and a potential shot at citizenship within 7 years. Vietnam has not presented a single streamlined long-term process to match these. Even Cambodia has done it. Seriously, Vietnam? But that may well change. So what does a Vietnam Golden Visa or Residence by Purchase program look like? The details are murky, but here's a plausible scenario. The first would be a real estate tract, where the investor will invest roughly about $150,000 in a leasehold property, since freehold ownership is restricted for foreigners. The second option revolves around government bonds, whereby they can purchase roughly $50,000 of bonds, allowing for a multi-year residence card. These aren't the official numbers, but they are in line with Vietnam's approach. Cautious, but with a nod at attracting mid-range foreign investors. Government decisions in Vietnam can be lightning fast if they're labeled as national priority, or glacially slow if bureaucracy gets tangled. If we look at precedent, the e-visa system proposed in 2014 took 3 years to implement in 2017. E-visa expansion in 2023 took about 1 year from announcement to execution. Work permit simplification in 2020 took around 18 months to execute. Based on that, possible release dates could be from late 2026 to mid-2027 for a full-fledged release of the Golden Visa program or similar plan. Unless we see a sudden economic downturn that forces the government to accelerate investment flows, then maybe 2025, but that's an optimistic scenario. So you might be thinking, okay, Ken, what if I don't want to wait 2 to 3 years or until the end of the world? How can I stay in Vietnam now? Let's explore some of the possible options. Number 1, the 5-year visa exemption. If you are of Vietnamese descent or you're married to a Vietnamese, have children or parents who are Vietnamese descent, then you can get a 5-year multiple entry visa. The downside is you have to exit the country every 6 months, and you may have trouble opening up a local bank account, and for sure you cannot buy land. Second option is a marriage visa or a TT visa. If you are married to a Vietnamese citizen, then you can get a TT visa that is valid along with your temporary residence card for up to 3 years. This is better than the 5-year visa exemption because you can stay the whole time. Also, you can open up local bank account, buy a car, and also buy a property, which gives you pretty much the same rights as a Vietnamese citizen. Number 3, investor visa or DT, which means đầu tư. This investor visa has many different categories from DT4 to DT1. DT4 is a minimum investment of up to 3 billion VND, which is about 140,000 US dollars. But from our experience, you should invest at least $50,000 as capital contribution to successfully get this visa. Depending on how big the investment is, you can get from 1 to 10 years temporary residence card and enjoy all the other perks. Number 4, although the passport is not a visa, it allows you to travel freely in and out of Vietnam. If you were born in Vietnam with a valid birth certificate, or both of your parents have Vietnamese citizenship. As a law firm with a front row seat into these regulatory shifts, we are here to guide folks who are keen on planting roots in Vietnam. Whether you are exploring the existing investor visa or the marriage pathway, we will help you decode the legalese. We handle anything from your company formation to your temporary residence card, so you can spend more time sipping on coconut coffee by the Saigon River rather than wrestling with the legal red tape. A Vietnam Golden Visa program might help bring in a flood of foreign capital to help Vietnam keep pace its regional competition. But let's be real, it's not going to magically fix the tourism woes or the urban development headache. If the requirements are too strict or expensive, then retirees and digital nomads will look elsewhere. If the restrictions are too lenient, then we run the risk of shady money and inflated property markets. Vietnam is on the brink of something big. A golden visa or a long-term residence program could be a game changer, allowing foreigners to sink their roots into this vibrant country legally, securely, and for the long haul. Sure, this reality might be a year or 2 away, but the fact that they're talking about it is a monumental shift. In the meantime, keep your options open and don't hold your breath, because this is Vietnam. Policies can change faster than a motorbike weaving through traffic, or slower than that same motorbike stuck in a lunchtime jam. If you have questions or need personalized advice, leave your comments or reach out to us directly. If you haven't subscribed, really, just hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next big update. I'm Attorney Ken Duong, right here helping you weave through the ins and outs of Vietnam's visa maze. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this video, and I'll see you on the next one.